Okay, so today we're going to talk about budgeting, the what, why, and how of budgeting. Budgeting is something that we've all heard before. We know why, we know how, we know what it is. But I'm hoping that in this video I can supply some insight that you might not have heard before, because a lot of this was kind of new when I started my own budgeting journey. So let's get into it. Okay, so a budget is a breakdown of your money. It's how much you made and how much you spent in layman's terms. It's your income and your expenses. Okay, that's the easy part. But the difficult part comes in when you start trying to discover how. How do I budget? How do I save money? Now, this is the part where you have to stop spending money on unnecessary stuff, and nobody likes that part. It's like, ugh, it's the yucky part. But it's the most necessary part. Okay, so disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor. So do not take my words and say that this is exactly what I have to do because no. I am not a financial advisor. I'm doing this because, I'm hoping to inspire someone to do something similar or just help someone else out in their budgeting journey. So let's start off with some tips. Some of this I've known like all of my life. I learned it from my parents, I've learned it from just people around me. And then some of this I've just kind of learned as I've been going through this budgeting journey. The first tip is living below your means. And this basically means not spending every single dollar that you could because you can. So for example, if you, make 6 figures a year, you're not you're not living in $1 million house, but you're living in $500,000 house because maybe you're gonna have kids one day and you want to save money to so that they can go to college, or maybe they're gonna start a business and you want to just save money so that you can invest in them. Okay, so you're living below your means. You're not suffering, you're not sad, you're just not spending every single dollar that you could because you can. The next tip is to focus on less consumption. So this is a problem that a lot of us have. We are just over consuming everything. We just have so much stuff. It's just we have so much stuff that we don't need, and we just keep buying more things. No, stop it. You need to stop it. This is your wake-up call. Stop buying things you don't need. And this is something that we will talk about a little bit more later when we start talking about organization and all that good stuff. But as far as budgeting purposes, this is great because it's going to save you more money in the long run. Yeah, focus on that. Focus on what you have in your life, what material items that you have in your life that you can definitely get rid of, and then focus on not acquiring new things that you just don't have space for or don't have money for. So, yep, that was tip number 2. My next tip is the $1,000 challenge, and what this is basically saying is it's simple. If you don't know what to do with $1,000, how are you going to know what to do with $10,000? Same $10,000. How are you going to know what to do with $100,000, and so on and so on? So you write down what you would do with $1,000. You can do $100. You can do $10. And this is just targeting your mentality about money. So, for example, if your goal is to save more money, okay, how do I save in this $10 range, in this $100 range, in this $1,000 range? If your goal is to increase your income, okay, how do I turn this $10 into another $10? How do I turn this $100 into another $100? Because eventually you're going to start getting more money. You're going to increase from 1,000 to 10,000, from 10,000 to 100,000 to blah, 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 and so on and so on and so on. But you can't increase if you don't know what to do with the decrease, okay? You can't do with more if you don't know how to handle less, okay? All right. say it like okay. So that was all of my tips for budgeting. That's just what I have right now. I'm pretty sure I'll have more in the future as I continue to grow. But if you just wanted tips, then well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. But if you're still here, we're gonna go over a little bit of how I actually do my budget. I operate on percentage-based budgeting, and percentage-based budgeting just means that whatever you make for the month, a percentage of that goes into little categories, or percentages of that goes into little categories. That makes sense, but it's super easy. It's probably one of the easiest ways to budget. I don't know. You try it. The general way to do that is a 50-30-20 budget, and what that means is that 50% goes towards your needs, 30% goes towards your wants, and 20% goes towards your savings and debt. I call this the old lady. Actually, no, I call it the old lady who's not saved budget, because there's no way that I could operate on this budget. But I mean, if this is your budget, shout out to you. You're doing it. You're saving the money. This is your goal. Yeah, that's just not the way I operate, and that's not the way I can sound. Okay. Now, another way to do this is the 70-20-10 budget. Now, this is what I call the old lady who is saved budget. So, this is 70% goes to your needs, 20% goes to your savings, and 10% goes to your tithes. Yes, tithes. We love it. We love to see it. Okay, the reason why I call it the old lady budget, no offense to old ladies, we love old ladies. The reason why I call it the old lady budget is because you're only saving 20%. Now, if you're young and you're like me and you want to buy a house, that 20% is not going to cut it, all right? No, that 20% is for people who already have houses, and, 50% or 70% of their needs are, bills and paying for that house and paying for other things. Like, Okay, let me get back on track. Okay. So my personal percentage-based budget is the 40-30-20-10 budget. 40-30-20-10. That's fun to say. But anyways, that means 40% goes to savings. All right. I'm going to stop right there, because I know some people done choked on their tea. They spit out their water. It's okay. It's okay. It's not for everybody. This is me. This is my personal budget. 40% is savings. 30% is expenses. 20% is for me. For moi. 10% is for my tithes. That's for Jesus. Thank you, God, for giving me this money. That's the way that I give back. I honestly started this because of tithing. I'm a Christian, so because of my faith, and well, not really because of my faith, but because I love God, I tithe 10% of all the money that I make. And when I was tithing my 10%, it really made me think about the other 90%. And I just thought, why don't I break that down into percentages as well? And that's kind of how my budget was born. Of course, it went through like a whole bunch of steps and processes, but it ended up being the 40-30-20-10. I just like saying that, 40-30-20-10. But so that's what I do. I take it a step further. You don't have to do all of this, but within my savings, I also have a percentage breakdown. I don't really have one in my expenses and, the money for me, but in my savings, I have a breakdown of 45, 30, 15, and 10. The great thing about percentage-based budgeting is that it's not set in stone. So for me, I will always have that 10%, but the other 90% is super flexible. You can do whatever you want with it. Yeah, that's the great thing about percentage-based budgeting, is that, the percentages can just keep changing as long as they equal 100. That's what I love about it, because in life, I feel like your budget can kind of change with you. It can change with the circumstances. Like, you don't have to be so, it doesn't have to be so exact all the time. It doesn't have to be the exact same way all the time. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, so like I said, I am not a financial advisor. I just really enjoy doing this. I enjoy budgeting. I enjoy talking about budgeting. And I hope that that helped somebody. Yeah, like I said, I enjoy talking about budgeting. So comment down below, questions or just things to say, anything that I could do better, any advice that you might have for somebody else. That'd be great. I love that. Yeah, this video was fun. Hope to do more like it. All right. Have a good day. Bye.